for me it's important. A little bit about Sollah and our product. We have a little bit over 100 training products, and they're translated, transculturated into 42 languages. So anytime I see somebody come across my desk or through a lot, we do a lot of hiring and a lot of consultant work through our network, an expansive network over the years. My wife graduated from here, so we have a lot of people here that I'll ping. Like if I need somebody with some Hungarian experience, my wife will talk around and I'll have 2 or 3 people available. So anytime I see something like a language, especially if it's like a secondary language, Bosnian, something like that, although that's quite available in Des Moines now. These languages are fantastic because it opens up a whole new market for us, and that's important. So we're always looking for those types of niche languages so that we can bring folks in. We do audio dubbing, we do video, a lot of video, and make sure that we have a product for that emerging market potentially. We do a lot of cultural products and a lot of diversity products. How many are you familiar with diversity inclusion? You're gonna be if once you get into the marketplace and start looking for a job, because corporate America is not lily white anymore. And people always say, John, you're a white guy talking about diversity. And I said, you know why? Because I get it. I understand. It's really important. So, it's a nuance to teach diversity and inclusion and the important aspects of it and how a workforce is better as it's more diverse. And so those niche languages, when I see those come across, I'm like, even if we don't hire that person, we'll contract them. And we'll say, let's take a look at what you can do. And we'll, that leads into other things because we just push them right on to some of our corporate people. I was telling Mark earlier, we work with a lot of companies. You might have heard of Boeing, maybe, Sherwin-Williams, you might have heard of that. ADP, the check processing. Most people get, I think 60% of Americans get paid through ADP some way or another. Ford, General Motors. Our products are in almost every single Fortune 1000 company in the States, and now we're out in Lufthansa. I didn't tell Mark that, but they have some of our cultural stuff. They want to better understand how Americans deal with their day in, day out life as well. So we're on both sides of that fence. That's a great question.
Well, to answer your question, yes, you definitely want to show your language skills on your resume. You don't want to just say also know German. More than that, we want to see, especially if you have visited Germany, stayed there, anywhere in the world for that matter, that gives us an idea as to your language skills. If you just visited Germany or France for 2 weeks and then come back and say, I know German, as a employer, I may not know as much. But if I say that, okay, you lived there for 6 months, we know at least you need to know basic. 15 days you can manage without speaking one word of German or French. I don't know about France. I've not gone to France, so I'm not going to talk about it. But German, I know firsthand I can manage in Germany quite well, without too much German words in there. But if you have to live there for 6 months, 8 months, you have to know more than just that. And so that will help us. So definitely, if you have stayed in the country, please let us know that you have. That's one way we can look into that.
Yeah. From my perspective, it's probably a little bit building on yours, but a little bit different too, Jan. Since I'm more in the linguistics and culture, more purely than the engineering plus adding, for me there's 2 elements there. For example, if the language aspect is required, then definitely I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. She was saying earlier, make sure it's highlighted there, everything that you have done with it. Because just because you say, I studied 6 months in Germany, like the other colleague was saying, you can have lived with 6 other US citizens not interested in learning the language. So that's probably not gonna take you too far later on because we check these things. Now, if the Language aspect is not required, still make sure to highlight it because that shows that you're prone to taking risk. And in today's market, that is something that employers want to see. Want to see that you are able to take on things that are not part of your plate, that are not, you're willing to go the extra mile by relocating here, going there, you know. That also helps you grow with the company, so.
So let's be honest, we know right now, the generation coming out, the kids and the young adults coming out of college now are looking at a different kind of lifestyle than we did, and even the generation before us. And so we know that you guys want to, you value your downtime, your home time, you know, your party time, whatever, you know, whatever time it is. So we want to make sure we maximize our time together, because typically what statistics are telling us, your generation, we're going to get you for about 3 years, and you're going to move on. You might not move up because, you know what, you want to try something new, so you'll move on. So we're really keen on maximizing the relationship together. So that's why it's really important to find the right fit. That doesn't mean it has to be cookie cutter. You know, we don't want cookie cutter folks. We want folks that have that diversity of experience within their college education and with internships and things like that, so that we can maximize our time together. And we like people to be able to just start running when they get in the door. I mean, you're going to have a corporate culture you're going to have to deal with, especially me and my personality. But still, you're going to be able, we want you to be able to start contributing immediately. And we find that folks that have been out in the world tend to contribute a little bit faster because their walls have already come down a little bit. And so that's important. So we look at a lot of those things as well, you know, in the resume.